What's going on, everyone? My name is Patrick Bacon, and you're watching the one and only BaconsDrinks channel here on YouTube. And today we're going to be taking a look at one of my favorite tiki cocktails, Trader Vics Grog. This cocktail was invented by none other than Trader Vic Bergeron himself, and was put on his restaurant's cocktail menu back in the 1960s. For those of you who don't know, Trader Vic Bergeron, also known simply as Trader Vic, was a massive icon in the Polynesian pop and tiki culture of the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and he invented or made a lot of classic tiki cocktails such as the Mai Tai that we still drink today. Now, people said when you went into one of Trader Vic's restaurants that it was a magical experience. You immediately escaped to a tropical paradise far, far away from any of your problems. It's a concept we now call escapism or tropical escapism. And that's why I wanted to make this cocktail today. I'm fully aware that it's winter. I do know that it's really cold outside, at least in most places in the United States, not so much down here in the South. But I figured we could all use our own tropical escape right about now. Whether that's escaping from your job, escaping from bad relationships, politics, whatever the case may be, I figured we could all use our own tropical escape currently. And this is from a book called Easy Tiki. You can buy Easy Tiki online on Amazon for about $11 or $12, I believe. It is an incredible book, especially incredible if you want to get into making tropical or tiki cocktails. Tiki is notorious for having many ingredients in their cocktails. The average tiki drink has anywhere from 6 to 9 ingredients, I would probably say. Some drinks have even up to 13 ingredients, so that is pretty expensive and not very practical for the home bartender. Easy Tiki takes these complex recipes, rewrites them down to 4 to 6 ingredients, so it's a lot more ideal for the home bartender. And they rewrite them with ingredients that are a lot easier to get or easier to make while still maintaining most of the flavor profile of the original. So it's an absolutely incredible book, incredible resource. It's one of my favorite new books. I actually just got it a couple months ago, and it's absolutely great. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into making the cocktail. All right, guys, so I usually start with the cheapest ingredients first, and we're going to do 3 dashes of Angostura bitters. If you guys don't know about Angostura bitters, it's a fairly common ingredient. You can get it at just about any liquor store. You can even get it at Walmart, Target, wherever. And next, we're going to do 0.75 ounces of lemon juice. This is fresh squeezed lemon juice. I said 0.75 ounces. Of course, that's also translates to 3/4 of an ounce. Always use fresh squeezed juices when you can. I'm going to say this, I know this is my first video, but I will say this 1,000 times over and over again. Fresh squeeze is the way to go.
This is the way.
If you want to get into making good cocktails, you want to elevate your cocktail game by 80%, to start using the fresh squeezed juices. It makes everything taste way more fresh and elevates your cocktails tremendously. Please stop using things in a bottle, things that are heavily processed, or things out of a can for the most part. Those ingredients do have their place, but for the most part, please use fresh squeeze. So next we're going to do 1 ounce of pineapple juice. Now, one thing I will add about pineapple juice is a real pain to fresh squeeze yourself. I don't know if you guys have ever done it, but it requires blending, straining, etc. If you want to use canned pineapple juice or bottled pineapple juice, please use Dole's 100% pineapple juice and buy it in the small 6-ounce cans. They're absolutely perfect for cocktails, and so you're just not being wasteful in general. The best pineapple juice, in my opinion, that I've been able to get a hold of, at least thus far, is from a brand called Simple Truth, which is Kroger's brand, I believe. And they have something called Simple Truth Organic Cold Pressed Pineapple Juice. It is absolutely delightful. It's basically as good as fresh squeezing it yourself. It's about $5, and it comes like I think a 10-ounce bottle or something like that. It's actually pretty small. Unfortunately, I don't start to see those bottles until around the summer. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I've looked, at least at this Kroger here, they don't have that. So next we're going to do 1 ounce of Passionfruit Syrup. Passionfruit Syrup, for you guys that have not had it, it's absolutely delicious. You can actually use it in desserts. You can use it in other drinks. It transports you to the tropics. It's an extremely tropical ingredient and it's absolutely delicious. I'm using Liber & Company today, or Liber & Co. Another brand that I like to use is called Small Hand Foods. You can purchase both of these brands on Amazon. Now, I usually do make all of my syrups fresh, in-house, but this syrup is so good, it's better than probably anything I could do on my own. Also, passion fruit syrup is kind of expensive to make. Passion fruits usually run about $5 to $7 a fruit, which is pretty ridiculous, pretty expensive. And they're actually kind of hard to find. Around here, I can't even find them. Sometimes Kroger will have them, but they only have 2 or 3, and usually they're kind of not that good of quality, and they're still expensive. So next we're gonna get to our rum. The fun part, right? The best part. The original Trader Vics recipe called for 2 ounces of dark Jamaican rum. I'm staying true to the recipe for the most part, but I also wanted to add a ½ ounce of Overproof. In the Martin Cates version of the recipe, he says you can kind of pick and choose these rums, you know, to your specifications. So that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna do 1½ ounces of dark Jamaican rum. I'm using Appleton 12 today, which is an absolutely delightful, kind of rich, kind of full-bodied, complex Jamaican rum. It is aged 12 years, so you don't get a lot of that Jamaican funk in this. There's still some of it definitely in there, but it's not super potent like a Smith & Cross or like a Ray & Nephew White Overproof or an Appleton Signature, let's say. And next we're gonna use one of my favorite rums on the market, Plantation OFTD. This is easily my favorite overproof rum. It is absolutely delicious in every way. It's slightly sweet, but kind of complex and full-bodied, and I use it most of the time when a recipe calls for an overproof rum, unless it specifically calls for something else, of course. So we're going to do kind of a scant ½ ounce of this, not too much. Don't want to blow your head off, don't want to get too crazy. But the reason I add the overproof is to add more complexity to the drink, but also give it that extra kick that it needs. There's some pretty bold flavors in here, pineapple, passion fruit. There's some pretty powerful flavors going on in here, and I do want the rum to kind of showcase itself and not completely get lost in the cocktail. All right, guys, that's actually it for the body of the cocktail. Now all we got to do is shake. I prefer to shake most of my cocktails or most of my tiki cocktails, even if it calls for blending, because I feel as though I have more control over the dilution of the cocktail. We're gonna add 2 to 4 ounces of Sonic Pebble Ice. So a lot of people don't know this, but you can actually buy full bags of ice at Sonic. It's only $2.50 to $3, depending on where you are. It is absolutely the best ice for making tiki cocktails or any type of tropical cocktail. We're gonna shake this cocktail and we're gonna pour it into a pilsner glass. So yes, this is a beer glass, technically. That's what the recipe calls for. And we're going to shake. What's happening here is 3 things. 1 is that the ingredients are mixing. 2 is that the cocktail is getting chilled. And 3 is that this ice, this pebble ice, is melting and diluting the cocktail, which is exactly what we want to happen. Without ice and without dilution, without the ice melting, all these flavors will be way too strong. So shaking it is very important. I wouldn't recommend stirring it or anything like that. You probably won't achieve the desired level of dilution. All right, so when we whip shake like that, it's called a whip shake. You want to shake until most of the ice has melted in the tin. And you know this because when you're shaking, you can hear the ice rattling around, and when it stops rattling, it's probably melted. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll into the glass. Roll is like a fancy term of just dumping it in the glass without straining it. All right, it looks like we got some good aeration on the pineapple there. And now we just gotta fill it the rest of the way up with ice. Some of this ice, that's one bad thing about getting pebble ice from Sonic, that if you let it melt a little bit, or the Sonic is far away from your house, some of the ice fuses together. It's a little annoying, but you can get like a little ice pick and just pick it apart though. It's not the biggest deal on earth. All right, I got a small little reservoir back here, so just bear with me. We aren't about done there. We're gonna leave a little bit of a cap here. All right guys, so there we go, we're almost done. All that's left now is to garnish. So I'm going to use some incredible mint sprigs that I have over here. I actually grow my own mint. And I'm gonna pick out some pretty good little sprigs here. And a lot of you guys who are watching who make your cocktails at home, you're probably thinking, is the mint necessary? Yes and no. The reason I say that is because mint is actually a functional garnish. So a lot of garnishes just serve to make the drink look pretty, for presentation, etc. Mint does that, but it also adds a functional element to the cocktail. It adds some very powerful mint aromatics to the cocktail and changes your drinking experience almost completely. So what I like to do is like to get a pretty big little swath of mint here, and we're going to activate the oils on the leaves. And you can hit it up against the back of your hand, whatever you want to do, just kind of like this. And then we are going to put it in our cocktail just like that. Look at that, guys. That looks absolutely beautiful. And there you have it, the Trader Vics Grog. Let's go ahead and get a taste here. Man, that is absolutely delightful. Probably top 10 favorite tiki drinks of all time. But the reason I like this cocktail is because passion fruit is a very, very powerful ingredient. It's commonly used in tiki cocktails. And a lot of times when I see passion fruit on the ingredient list, I kind of shy away from it because passion fruit is a very dominant flavor, and a lot of passion fruit cocktails start to taste the same after a little while, depending on which cocktail it is. The reason why I like this cocktail is because this pineapple juice brings a richness of its own that really balances out that passion fruit. It kind of almost cuts its effect in half, making it way more balanced. So I'm getting passion fruit, I'm getting pineapple, I'm also getting the richness of the Appleton 12, and I'm getting that nice little kick of Overproof from the OFTD. It's absolutely delightful, and it all kind of rounds out with the tartness of the lemon there. So, and yes, I also do get the mint every time I go in to take a sip. That mint is right in the nose, providing those incredible aromatic components. So that's it, guys. Trader Vics Grog, one of my favorite tiki cocktails. I hope taking a sip of this will transport you to a tropical island, a tropical paradise, away from all of your problems. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So with that being said, if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more of my content in the future, hit the subscribe button. And if you can, please leave a comment. That really gets the algorithm going and gets my video more traction. That would be much appreciated. If you guys have any feedback, or if you have any questions about the ingredients or how to make the cocktail, I'm very active. I will be able to answer any questions you have. But other than that, thank you so much for tuning into the video. I should be coming out with more videos coming up very soon. I'm doing what I call the Tropical Escape series, so I'll be coming out with hopefully 2 videos a week from now on with tropical and or tiki cocktails for the next couple weeks or so. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you have a great weekend. Be safe, and as always, I'll see you guys next time.